Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. Despite elevated uncertainty, the economy is in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment. Inflation has been running somewhat above our 2% longer-run objective. In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged. We believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic developments.
That was just moments ago, a time of recording of Jerome Powell, head chair of the Fed, being an absolute moron for the now fifth or sixth month in a row when it comes to the American economy and defying the president's agenda. And I want to point out a few things here because I already had a list ready to go before this, and this was breaking live as I was getting set to record this video. But what uncertainty is he even talking about at this point? GDP growth for the second quarter under President Donald Trump's first year so far grew and exceeded expectations, mind you. And what you're going to see throughout this video that I'm making here is that there is a common theme with our economic markers going on right now under President Donald Trump, and that is that most of them are exceeding expectations, which is not what you would expect if there was a quote-unquote uncertainty in the marketplace right now, as Jerome Powell said that there was, for his reason to not cut interest rates and to leave them the same.
The advance, of course, so they will be modified, but we are expecting a number around 2.5%. Last quarter, you do realize, was down 0.5%. That was the weakest quarter since the first quarter of 22, and they're out up 3%, better than expected. That would be the highest level since the third quarter of 24, when it was up 3.1%.
And so the GDP is surging, and ironically, our GDP is doing better than expected because of what President Donald Trump is doing, which, according to Jerome Powell, is creating this uncertainty. And that is, President Donald Trump is using the tariffs very effectively. You see all of these liberal economists, oh my God, these tariffs, they're going to ruin us. They've been saying this for months now, and we've been waiting for it to happen. Not only is it not happening, it would be one thing if things were uneasy and everything was staying the same and nothing was showing signs of life and everything was just steadily flatlining and maybe even starting to trend down. But it's not that at all. We had a budget surplus in June.
Jerry, how much revenue have you raised so far from tariffs? I know that we saw a budget surplus in the Treasury in the month of June. Last time we saw a budget surplus was President Trump's first term. Is that largely because of the tariff revenue, and how much have you raised so far this year?
Well, we're closing in on $100 billion. I think we could annualize at $300 billion. So a way to think about that is that's roughly 1% of our U.S. $30 trillion GDP. So, that is a big number, Maria, and we didn't get any credit for that in the CBO scoring. I don't agree with the CBO scoring, but CBO scoring did say that there's a chance over the 10-year window we could take in $2.8 trillion of tariff revenue. And the great thing about the June number was not only was it an increase in tariff revenue, we brought down expenses. So it was a great combination: lower expenses, higher revenues, and that's how we are going to get this budget mess that we were left with under control.
I mean, take a look at this monthly U.S. tariffs revenue graph that just shows the massive impact that Trump's tariffs have had, not only during this term, but also during his first term and for all of Biden's term. Mind you, Biden's term was overall an absolute disaster for our economy. And if it weren't for Trump's tariffs, it would have been even worse. Trump's tariffs are so effective that it lessened the devastating impact of Biden's horrendous presidency. To just take a look, all you have to do is look. Trump's tariffs literally kicking in late 2018, 2019, starting to surge upwards towards the end of his term, and also creating a much better scenario for Joe Biden's presidency, so much so that even Joe Biden, a dementia-ridden president with no common sense at all and horrendous liberal policies, knew better than to eliminate Trump's tariffs. A Democrat didn't get rid of the tariffs. He left them in place during his presidency. That's how effective they are. And then boom, as soon as we see Trump get in, it is soaring upwards. America is literally soaring to the golden age right now. And we have people like Jerome Powell leaving the rates unchanged, who's slowing everything down. And there's so many more good economic markers to discuss, like the fact that our consumer confidence has also come in better than expected.
Just came in 97.2, which is a strong number. By the way, Stu, the estimate for the consumer confidence reading was 95, so that is better than expected. We'll see if that has an impact on the market, but certainly better news on the consumer confidence number.
So along with GDP growth being up, consumer confidence is also up. Americans are beginning to take notice of the healthy economy coming our way. People are beginning to feel safer in our American economy. And on top of that, echoing the consumer confidence being up, we have record-breaking highs in our stock market. I love highlighting the S&P 500. It specifically just shows off incredible gains in the stock market. Another great economic indicator, the jobs report. It was estimated back in June that 117,000 new jobs would have been created, which is not bad at all. Under President Donald Trump, that marker's been blown away as well. He exceeded that marker, creating 147,000 non-farming jobs, new jobs. That's 30,000 more than predicted.
With a Fox News alert, the June jobs report just released, and it shows the U.S. added 147,000 jobs last month. That is stronger than expected. Revisions to April and May reports also show 16,000 more jobs created than previously reported, and the unemployment rate unexpectedly falling to 4.1%. So a strong report, guys. That's good news.
And they covered in there, too. That was going to be my next point. The unemployment rate fell, whereas it was predicted to go up. And so what we have going on here, just to recap once again, our GDP growth was better than expected at 3% rather than 2.3%. Tariffs are generating insane amounts of revenue, so much so that we have a budget surplus in June. American consumer confidence is up higher than expected. The stock market is literally soaring. It is soaring. If you invested back in April, you are a very happy person right now. Our jobs report is looking better, and more jobs are being created once again higher than expected. And the things you want to be down, like unemployment, are in fact down, as opposed to the liberal doom and gloom narrative that told us that unemployment rates were going to raise to 4.3%. No, they're actually down to 4.1%. And when it comes to the unemployment rates, they actually continue to trend downwards.
The estimate we were looking for was 226. It's out now at 217. The previous week was 221. 217 is the right kind of downside surprise, and jobless claims have just hung in there, haven't they, over the past few weeks?
So anyone looking for the bad news to start showing up in the number of people filing for benefits after losing their jobs, you're not going to find it here. Pretty much across the board, you could see initial claims 4-week moving average moves lowered 224,000 rather than staying at the 220, almost the 230,000 from the prior week.
And so unemployment claims are now falling as well, which indicates that the unemployment rate will continue to drop. Jobs are being created and unemployment rates are dropping, and unemployment claims are falling week by week. 6 weeks in a row now of unemployment claims dropping. People are going out and getting jobs, and jobs are being created for the people. And mind you, the two biggest things that Trump ran on essentially was the economy and immigration. And the way he's restoring our economy is through both immigration reform policy, but most importantly, once again, the tariffs, which according to Jerome Powell creates so much uncertainty that he just cannot lower the rates and needs to keep them high in order to be able to adjust to this quote unquote unpredictability and uncertainty. I don't see the uncertainty Jerome Powell is talking about. I think Jerome Powell wants to see the uncertainty because I think he hates President Donald Trump and doesn't want America to do well under him, just like all of the other traitor liberals who live in this country that secretly love China more than us. They can all go to hell. Grant Cardone summarizes the Trump economy perfectly, calling it the Midas touch.
That tariffs have netted $20 billion now for each of the last 2 months. Thoughts on tonight and where we are?
Well, Laura, you summed up what most economists with big degrees can't figure out. It's simple. Donald Trump has the Midas touch. He promised to make America first. He promised that we would be winning so much that we would get sick of it. I don't know if we're there yet. But look, the numbers don't lie. I mean, the Dems said the tariffs would kill us. The comedian said it. The talking head said it. The economists and the bankers, they were all wrong. But the numbers are the numbers. We have budget surplus, first one since 2015 of $28 billion. That's just real money. We have manufacturing jobs coming back. We have Donald Trump going to the Middle East and Japan and across the world, bringing in $5 trillion of new business. He used the tariffs to negotiate that. He's generated billions of dollars of new federal funds for the American people and our country without taxing the people. Every indicator's up. Jobs are up, stock market's up, crypto's up. The Dems are down, okay, but the American people are winning. That's what he promised, and I expect this guy that has the golden touch that most people cannot think this simple is going to change America for the best. If we get Jerome Powell out of the way, we will certainly go into the golden age.
Jerome Powell's term isn't up until next year. I think at this point, Trump would be better off finding a way to get him out. Oust him out of there, replace him, or, in all honesty, in my opinion, abolish the Fed in general. I know that's a mighty ask to make, but what is the purpose of the Fed anymore? Our money's not backed by gold. We're actually moving more towards cryptocurrency because of President Donald Trump and tying our US dollar in with that now because of the Genius Act and the Clarity Act. And there's just so much going on right now where you look at the Fed and they're refusing to see what's right in front of them, and everything about them just seems far behind where they should be. They're deliberately laggy. They're deliberately behind schedule. They're deliberately holding everything up. Get rid of them. The renovation construction projects on the building, absurd. They're costing us money by not only not lowering interest rates and allowing President Donald Trump to essentially refinance America's debt, saving us literally hundreds of billions of dollars, mind you. But on top of it, the renovation on the building cost is now, it's an insane amount. It's like billions of dollars they're costing us as well on top of it. Get rid of them. Just abolish it. I honestly thought at this point Jerome Powell was going to have lowered the interest rates. I thought he'd have to concede here finally, but he has managed to do it again. It's just a personal vendetta against Trump at this point. He's not placing the American people first at all by doing this, and it is absolutely a sabotage campaign on his part by refusing to cut the interest rates. There is no reason for the interest rates to be at 4.4% while our inflation is well under 3%. The rates needed to come down by a point to a point and a half at the very least, and by refusing to lower them at all, Jerome Powell has now officially cost Americans hundreds of billions of dollars. So do you agree with my take on this? Should Jerome Powell be fired at this point? Should Trump find a way to get rid of him? Because I think that he should. Just going to throw that out there. And if you agree, make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about all this, and subscribe to American Advocates for more content like this, unless you love Jerome Powell and you wish Joe Biden was still our president. If that's the case, dislike this video and never, ever, ever come back. Thanks for watching.